Hey, possibility seekers, how are you? Welcome back. Short, sweet, thought provoking episode, I hope. Here we go. Clarity. I'm leaning into clarity this quarter because I think that if you do things the way you want them to be done, you get really, really clear about your life, your work life integration, not your balance. Let's remember the thing that I always say: you're not going to be able to do everything at the same time. You can do it all, but just not at the same time. So we're going to just look at clarity, three areas in your life where clarity can show up or can get triggered negatively, right? You have your time, your energy, and your resources. And as you may have heard me say, if you look at your calendar and you look at the way you spend money, you will ideally be able to see what you are prioritizing and whether or not you want to continue to prioritize those things. So if you look at your time, let's really lean into the calendar. Are you taking the time to be prescriptive with your time? Are you doing the color coding on your calendar? Are you looking at the calendar once a week to look at it for balance or for joy, for purpose, for clear, focused time? And are you looking at the calendar to make sure that you've said no to enough things so that you could add or incorporate the things that give you joy and that make you happy? So for myself, I looked at the calendar last week for this week and noticed that I had a few too many meetings and a few too many favors that I had done for other people. They weren't serving me. They were saying yes to other people and prioritizing their objectives and their priorities over mine. So what did I do? I moved a couple of those meetings and I added in some things that gave me joy. I was able to say yes to a speaking engagement, which gives me joy and furthers my objective of speaking in front of people to get the message out that you can really create the life you love. You really, really can. There are 7 areas, and you've heard me talk about the chapters, the secrets. They're tweaks. They're not overhauls. I never say anything that's going to blow your mind and be like, oh, I've never heard that before. I just put it in a way that's actionable, pragmatic, practical, and can be done by a average layperson, not a, superstar, super anything. It's just, if you put your mind to it, what does that look like? So your time, I really want you to look at your calendar this week and then look at the week after. And as I've said before, what can be delegated? What can be done in an email? What 1-hour meeting can be done in 30 minutes? What 30-minute meeting doesn't even need to happen? What can you push out because they're not priorities of yours? And what do you need to add that gives you joy? Have you not had a date night with your significant other in a bit? Well, maybe you want to build that in, and maybe you want to not go to that tangential networking reception that you may or may not be in the market for, or maybe you know in advance that they're not going to be the level of people that you want to engage with. There's probably something pulling at your gut that's telling you whether or not you should or could be doing something better with your time. You've only got the 24 hours, you've only got the 7 days, so let's use it judiciously. When you're clear about your time and you're clear about your priorities, you just show up different. You don't hit the snooze button, you get out of bed, you attack your day, you are on track, you are on strategy, you've built in your joy. I was able to build in a workout for myself this morning, which made me super, super happy because I wasn't able to do that yesterday. And Sunday, I took the day off because I did a really, really heavy workout on Saturday. So I thought, all right, Sunday's my rest day. Great. That was intentional. But Monday was not intentional. Monday, the day got away from me and I wasn't really happy about that. So I made sure that I set the alarm this morning to get out of bed in order to get to work out and be at my desk at the right time before a specific meeting that I needed to be at. So intention with time. The second thing is energy. Where are you putting your energies? In terms of your mental and physical energies, where are you spending your calories, as I like to say? So if you're spending them all on work and because you are intentionally, striving for a promotion or getting noticed by a boss or a client or somebody that's going to have a longer term impact in your life professionally, great. If you're focused on your children right now because there's stuff going on that requires their focus, maybe they're graduating, maybe they're test taking and they need to be driven places, maybe they're in the middle of a competitive sports situation where you're going to be traveling a lot and taking them to different places. Children have a way of prioritizing for us, don't they? And that's fine. And that's an intentional thing that you can choose to do or to not do. If you're sharing it with your partner, then, who does it this weekend? Who does this weekend? Who does that this weekend? Who's doing meal prep and who's doing the driving? And so just think also about what the implications of your children's activities are on your life. And if you don't have children at home, you have pets, then think about those too. And or what are the things that are going to come into your world that are going to require your mental and physical resources? I really want you to think about that. It's like if am I am gearing up for a trip. What is that? Backing it up. What does that mean? You have to do certain things before you leave for that trip. You've got coordination of mail and coordination of work and coordination of home upkeep, all of the things that lead up to you leaving with a clear head. You have to back it up and say, okay, what do I need to be doing 1 week, 2 weeks before, a month before, etc. So think about where you're putting your resources and make sure you're not burning the candle at both ends. We can't have it all at the same time. Trust me. I've tried. It's really quite a failing proposition. So we want to look at time and energy, the energy, what lights you up and what gives you more energy when you are feeling a little taxed. Is it the cup of tea or cup of coffee in the morning by the fireplace and journaling? And some of you are listening to this and going, oh, for God's sake, she doesn't know my life. My hair's on fire by 8 a.m. I don't have time to journal. You really do. You just have to let go of a preconceived idea that it needs to be done at a specific time of the day. It doesn't. If you're better off doing it at night after the kids go to bed, then you take your little cup of coffee or cocoa or tea or whatever makes you happy and you snuggle in your little fleece pajamas or fleece bathrobe and you sit in your bedroom on your bed or on a corner sofa by the fireplace, by not the fireplace, by I don't care wherever makes you happy. And you journal or you meditate or you work on your vision board, which I've been, very forward about talking about, because I do think that you need to build in some hacks around you that allow you to be on target. Remember what I said in the book about having reminders, right? So, do you see this? I'm going to hold up my phone and I'm going to show you these two reminders at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. I'm going to read them to you for those of you who are just listening and not watching. Be grateful, be intentional, be patient. That was what I had because bold was not working for me that particular week. So I left it there. So this week it's still telling me to be patient. So the reminder I have at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. that go off every day, unless I turn it off because I'm in a meeting, will remind me to be that, to be patient, to be grateful, to be intentional. And in most cases behind me, as you know, is to be patient, be grateful, be bold. Those are visual interpretations of what you need to stay on track. So that is your time and your resources, your gray matter. What do you have in your head that is taking up space, that's serving you? And then time, energy, that's the energy, and the resources. What do you need to do? Whether you need to buy it, delegate it, have it to support you. Do you need to get a babysitter? Do you need to get a dog walker? Do you need to buy a planner? Do you need to download an app? What are the resources that you need? And then I'm going to talk a lot about financial literacy this year because I'm getting a lot of requests for speaking around creating the life you love, and creating the life you love is integrally linked to creating financial independence. You can't have a life you love if you're constantly living paycheck to paycheck and stressed about money. So the one thing that the research tells us is that women do not typically love talking about money, and they often don't have the aptitude for long-term financial wealth building. It has to be taught, it has to be learned, it has to be practiced. So remember to look at your resources. Is there anything that you're doing that are not actually supporting you? For instance, are you spending too much money shopping every weekend instead of staying out of the stores and putting money away? You need to be looking at, in order to have clarity in your life, you need to look at time, energy, resources. So I hope that that has made some sense for you, that it has. I promise you, when you look at things in buckets, in chunks, it's so much more digestible. It's not like you have to boil the ocean. You just need to be very intentional about how you approach your time, your energy, because you only have one body that you need to feed and nourish and take care of, and resources to support your goals and objectives, whether that be professional or personal. So please remember to like the show, follow the show, leave us some comments. Would love to hear from you. And again, make it a great day and make this year the best one ever. Ciao.